What if the man who built your entire career ended up being the one you had to pay $31 million just to walk away from? That's not a rumor. That's exactly what just happened between Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun. The mentor who discovered him at 13, turned him into a global icon, and now stands at the center of one of the messiest breakups in pop culture history. But this wasn't just a business split. It was betrayal, whispered behind boardroom doors. Silent unfollows, shady audits, massive lawsuits, and now Bieber paying millions to close the chapter on a man he once called family. So what happened? How did Scooter go from Justin's biggest champion to the source of a financial and emotional fallout that's still unraveling? And why, even after the dust settles, does this drama feel far from over? The answers are deeper and darker than you think.
Justin Bieber unfollowed his former manager, Scooter Braun, on Instagram, which sounds really minor.
It sounds sort of very high school.
But it is a big deal, especially for celebrities. And then the really surprising thing is after Justin did that, Scooter deactivated his entire Instagram account.
The way that looks, at least, is that Justin unfollows him and Scooter figures, I'm going to get blasted by all the Bieber fans, so let me just shut this thing down. What's really going on here? Neither side is saying, but it is very clear that there is some bad feelings.
But Justin still has a contract with Scooter. They renegotiated in 2020. It's good for another 4 years, I think.
So why is he now unfollowing him and then Scooter shutting down his...
It's odd.
Could it be coincidence? I guess it could be.
Could be. Of course, the last 4 years have been very busy for Justin Bieber. Aside from that, just personally, unfollowing someone seems kind of silly, but it is a very public declaration, and celebrities know that, especially somebody like Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun, who are both still young, grew up with social media. They know that means something.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't come out and clarify it.
We'll see if anybody drops a diss record, maybe.
We get a Not Like Us from Justin Bieber?
Exactly.
Before there was the mansion, the music empire, and the $200 million catalog deal, there was just a 13-year-old kid singing on YouTube, and a guy named Scooter who couldn't look away. It was 2008. Scooter Braun stumbled upon grainy clips of a young Justin Bieber covering Neo's So Sick from his small-town bedroom in Stratford, Ontario. Something about that voice, that raw confidence, it hit different. Scooter didn't just watch the videos. He tracked Justin down. Literally, cold called his mom, and wouldn't take no for an answer. At first, Pattie Mallette, Justin's mom, was skeptical. Who was this random guy claiming to know music lawyers and promising fame? But after hours of long talks, she agreed. They flew to Atlanta. No contracts. No deals. Just a chance. And then, like fate had a schedule, Scooter pulled in Usher. A few weeks later, Justin Timberlake was circling too. Both wanted to sign the kid. Eventually, Usher won the bid, but Scooter was always the driver behind the scenes. From there, it was a rocket ride. Scooter didn't just manage Bieber, he built him. From small radio stations to sold-out world tours, he was the architect of a global phenomenon. Singles like One Time and Baby weren't just hits, they were engineered success stories, shaped by Scooter's strategic mind. And Justin, he wasn't just following instructions. He trusted Scooter completely. Like a mentor. Like a brother. Like the only person who truly believed in him before the world knew his name. This wasn't just business. This was family. But even fairy tales have shadows, and the deeper the bond, the more explosive the betrayal. At first, everything looked perfect from the outside. Platinum records, screaming fans, red carpet moments. Justin Bieber wasn't just a star, he was a movement. And behind every sold-out show, every flawless rollout, stood Scooter Braun, polished, professional, and always in control. But behind closed doors, that picture was cracking. Fame came fast, too fast. Justin was just a teenager, barely 15, juggling media pressure, constant touring, and a microscope on his every move. As his popularity skyrocketed, so did the chaos. The headlines shifted, from pop prodigy to public meltdowns, arrests, fights, rehab rumors, and Scooter. He stayed in the background, presenting calm while the machine kept rolling. To fans, he was the steady hand. But to Justin, deep down, he was becoming something else. Not just a manager, but a gatekeeper. A fixer, someone who made decisions when Justin couldn't, or wouldn't. And that's where the first signs of strain began. Scooter controlled everything. Tour dates, contracts, interviews, even Justin's inner circle. It started to feel less like guidance, and more like ownership. Justin, still a teenager, began to feel trapped in a world he never fully understood, but couldn't escape. Fame wasn't freedom, it was a cage. As years passed, Justin opened up more about his struggles. The pressure, the isolation, the lack of control. He spoke of feeling like a product, packaged, promoted, and sold. And although he never said Scooter's name directly, the implications were hard to miss. Even worse, people started whispering that Scooter was pocketing more than he should. Deals were made, commissions stacked up. Numbers didn't add up, but Justin wasn't ready to confront it. Not yet, not while the spotlight was still burning. But he was watching, waiting, and quietly planning something no one saw coming.
Interrupt the interview!
Oh, God.
We got more important stuff.
No, cameras.
Oh, God. Damn,
All right, let me quickly just tell him what he needs to do, and then we'll jump right back into it.
UFC! Come on, Scooter. He's my guy. Come on. Oh, no. That guy.
After over a decade of global tours, billion-stream singles, and headline moments, 2023 marked the unthinkable. Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun were done. There was no Instagram statement, no press release, just silence. It started subtly. Justin unfollowed Scooter on Instagram. To most it looked like nothing, but in the world of celebrity optics, that was the equivalent of slamming a door shut. Not long after, Scooter deactivated his entire Instagram account. The message was loud and clear: something had gone very wrong. Behind the scenes, a quiet war had begun. Reports leaked that Justin's new financial advisor, Lou Taylor, the same name whispered behind Britney Spears' conservatorship, was now digging into Scooter's management records. And what she found raised red flags. Serious ones. Audits were launched. Justin's team claimed Scooter had been overpaid by $26 million, money tied to miscalculated commissions, advance recoupments, and possibly mishandled revenue from the canceled Justice Tour. Scooter, of course, denied wrongdoing. But the damage was already done. And then came the bombshell. Bieber was preparing to completely sever ties. Not just professionally but financially. Scooter tried to keep things civil. In public interviews, he called Justin one of the bravest people he's ever known. He spoke of backstage memories, of laughter, of love. But behind the curtain, a multi-million-dollar settlement was being negotiated. And Justin, he didn't say a word. Not in interviews. Not on social media. He simply vanished from Scooter's orbit. But the breakup wasn't just about them. Almost overnight, Scooter's entire empire began to unravel. Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, J Balvin, one by one, his superstar clients started walking away. It wasn't just a business exodus, it felt personal. Insiders said the artists felt undervalued. Some felt misled. Others quietly admitted they stayed for too long out of loyalty. But once Justin left, the dam broke. By the end of 2023. The once untouchable Scooter Braun was alone. And Justin, he was finally free. But the cost of that freedom hadn't even hit him yet, because the real price was coming next. Freedom always has a price. For Justin Bieber, that price was $31.5 million, paid directly to the man who once discovered him, in 2025. The quiet storm finally broke into a full-blown financial supernova. After 2 years of behind-the-scenes audits, tense legal meetings, and mounting speculation, Justin agreed to settle his debt to Scooter Braun, and the numbers were brutal. $26 million was tied to a canceled tour. The Justice Tour, originally scheduled for 2022, had collapsed under health concerns and pandemic rescheduling chaos. But that didn't stop Scooter and his company Hybe from fronting a massive advance to keep the machine moving. When the tours crumbled, the repayment fell squarely on Justin's shoulders. Then came the second blow: $5.5 million in unpaid commissions. Years of back-end percentages, royalties, and management cuts. Scooter claimed he was still owed. Justin had pushed back. His new legal team said the numbers didn't make sense. But in the end, it wasn't about winning, it was about walking away clean. Together, The total ballooned to $31.5 million. And here's the twist. Justin had the cash. Just a few months earlier, he closed a jaw-dropping deal, selling 100% of his music catalog to Hypnosis Songs Capital for over $200 million. Every hit, from Baby to Sorry to Love Yourself, was now owned by someone else. To fans, it was a shocking move. Why sell your legacy? But insiders knew. It was a calculated play. Liquidate the past to buy your future. Pay off the ghosts. And finally, take back control. What's more, the payout itself came with drama. Rumors exploded that Hailey Bieber's billion-dollar sale of her skincare brand, Rhode, was secretly timed to cover Justin's debt. Social media ran wild with speculation. Was she bailing him out? Was this a silent rescue? But Hailey shut it down hard. Her reps called the claims completely false and misleading. Rhode's finances were separate. Her empire was hers, and Justin's mess was his own to clean up. The media spun it as a clean break. A final transaction, to end a tangled chapter. But for fans who watched Justin and Scooter build a dynasty together, it didn't feel like business. It felt like a betrayal, sealed with a wire transfer. After $31.5 million exchanged hands, most people expected silence, maybe bitterness, possibly legal threats. What no one expected was praise. Just days after the settlement went public, Scooter Braun broke his silence. Not with accusations, not with receipts, but with something almost surreal: admiration. On July 12, 2025, Scooter took to Instagram and called Justin's new album, Swag, the most authentically Justin Bieber album to date. He called it raw, beautiful, and truly him. He admitted he had nothing to do with it, but still claimed to be incredibly proud and genuinely enjoying the music. Fans were stunned. Was this real? Damage control? Or something more calculated? And then came the next curveball. Scooter even named his favorite track, Daisies, the same song insiders say was written during Justin's darkest period, when trust was shattered and loyalty felt like a lie. Some fans saw it as closure, others weren't buying it, because behind the poetic Instagram story was a man who had just walked away with millions, some of which Justin likely never intended to pay. And while Scooter's public praise was calm and classy, sources said privately, things were colder. Conversations were dead. Trust was gone. This wasn't friendship, it was legacy maintenance. Still, Scooter wasn't the only one facing heat. As Justin's financial situation came under the microscope, rumors started swirling around Hailey Bieber again. The timing of her billion-dollar Rhode brand sale felt suspicious. Was she helping Justin cover the debt? Hailey's team quickly hit back, saying the claims were false and misogynistic, and that Rhode's finances were entirely independent. One rep told Us Weekly flat out, "This is Hailey's win, not Justin's bailout." But the gossip didn't stop. Because while the money was handled, the relationship wasn't, and everyone watching could feel it. This wasn't over. Not emotionally, not publicly, because no matter how many millions change hands, some wounds never close. When the dust finally settled, something strange happened. Justin Bieber didn't crash. He didn't spiral. He didn't retreat into silence like he had before. Instead, he created. Just weeks after finalizing the $31.5 million settlement, Justin dropped his 7th studio album, Swag, and it was unlike anything fans had ever heard from him before. Gone were the glossy pop formulas and label-polished hooks. Swag was raw, minimalistic, wounded. The production fused stripped-back R&B with experimental soul, acoustic ballads, even spoken-word interludes. It was vulnerable, chaotic, and very real. For the first time, Justin sounded unfiltered, like he finally had full control over his own voice. There were no clear singles, no calculated radio bait, just confessions, journal entries. Art.critics didn't just praise it, they called it a rebirth. Billboard described it as the unraveling of a brand and the emergence of a man. Rolling Stone said it was the clearest window we've had into Bieber's mind since Purpose. And fans, they were emotional, connected. Some said it felt like listening to the version of Justin we never got to meet. Behind the scenes, that transformation had a name: Hailey. Sources close to the couple revealed that Hailey stood by Justin throughout the drama, while lawyers negotiated with Scooter. She was the one helping Justin write, reflect, and reimagine who he wanted to be, not as a product, but as a person. Her influence is all over Swag, not as a subject, but as an anchor. One insider put it plainly. This is the first album Justin made for himself, not for charts. And Hailey was the reason he felt safe enough to do it. And for the first time, Justin didn't just release an album. He did it independently. No Scooter, no middlemen, just Justin, his team, and the freedom to build something from scratch. Even Scooter, in that now viral Instagram story, admitted, "I had no role in this one." And that's what makes it so powerful. It was as if Scooter himself knew he had to step aside for the artist to be reborn. So yes, the money is paid, the deal is done. But what Justin gained can't be priced. Ownership of his story, because swag isn't just an album, it's a message. I'm not your investment anymore. I'm me, and I'm finally free. It started with a YouTube video and a DM from a stranger. It became a decade of superstardom, private jets, platinum plaques, breakdowns, comebacks, and a bond that looked unbreakable. But in the end, it wasn't love, it was ledger sheets. Justin Bieber and Scooter Braun's story didn't close with a hug or a heartfelt farewell. It ended with a payment, a contract, and silence. What once looked like family turned out to be business. And once the invoices were settled, so was the relationship. But here's the question no one's asking. Did Justin lose a mentor? Or finally shed a master? Because for years, his life wasn't really his. His calendar, his image, his circle, even his pain. It was curated, controlled, commercialized. And now Justin is writing his own rules. No more handlers. No more middlemen. He's making music on his terms, building a brand that's finally reflective of who he is, not who someone else wanted him to be. Scooter Braun will go down as one of the most influential managers in music history. He discovered legends, brokered billion-dollar deals, and turned nobodies into icons. But in doing so, he may have blurred the line between opportunity and ownership. And Justin, he's still evolving, still vulnerable, still a little broken. But for the first time in nearly 2 decades, he's free. The Bieber-Braun era is officially over. But if swag is any clue, Justin's real story might be just beginning.